parts, parts of DALI. That's the feature set. Our tech team, they spend a lot of time working on those things, and the fruition of that seems to be, the DALI Plus, which is our wireless DALI. It seamlessly integrates with DALI, and it wins this award for innovation excellence, design excellence,
design
excellence
award. Yeah.
So
and that's for DALI Plus, which we should definitely get into, because I feel like a lot of people are still unclear what DALI Plus is.
Okay, well, that's pretty simple, because now people know what DALI 2 is, which is the traditional wired DALI, and DALI Plus is exactly the same. It uses the same command set, the same feature sets, the same testing, the same certification, but without the wires.
So it's a complete wireless DALI, and I mean that's great, because I think that is sort of the direction that we're seeing lighting controls heading in, is this wireless solution.
Yeah.
So so are there additional considerations when if you're going between DALI wired versus DALI Plus?
Yeah. So to connect between the two, which you would want to do if you want to upgrade an existing network, for example, or if you just want to do an install, what we call a hybrid install, which is a mix of both wired and wireless. You need something called a bridge, which is just a device which has wired on one side and the wireless capability on the other side.
It's like a Wi-Fi gateway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because it's all DALI, so it uses all the same commands and feature sets, and everything's the same. So it integrates seamlessly. So you don't have to think about, am I going to use DALI Plus or am I going to use DALI 2? No, you just specify DALI and you use whatever mix you need as the application or the environment requires.
That's awesome. I mean, I think that's a really incredible innovation on top of DALI. It really gives it that added edge that we've been needing from it. So that's awesome, and I think the award is very well given. And you also got another award, right?
Yeah. This one was for category winner for Best of Control Enabling Technology.
Right, and we'll hold this up a little higher. Yeah. But yeah, and so that was the Innovation Awards, which we had Mark Roche on earlier talking about this.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I mean, it really does indicate how important and how innovative DALI Plus is to the industry, and I think that it's really going to provide an excellent resource going forward.
Yeah, I mean, standardized wireless lighting controls.
And
that
open.
Could be a thing, right? Yeah.
In an open protocol format, which, it's hard to compete with that. But then also, for people who don't really understand it enough to be able to specify it, you have some guidance now.
Yeah, so we're working on a suite or a list of different guides for different persona groups. So we're starting with lighting designers and specifiers, or anybody that gets involved in that part of the process. And so the first one is this at a glance guide. So that's for anyone new to DALI. Just want to get a feeling for what DALI is, and what the trademarks mean, and the different brands, like the explanation between DALI Plus and DALI 2. Just get a little bit more familiarity with DALI. So that's the first one, and we're going to do some of those, a series of those, which will be aimed at different persona groups. So like building owners and managers and facilities managers, they care about different things. They probably don't want to know the nuts and bolts of DALI, but they want to know what are the features of advanced lighting control that make me want to invest in that.
Yeah.
So whether that's circularity, sustainability, energy saving, of course, would be interesting. The flexibility and dynamic capability in the space, and changing it without having to rewire, and these kind of things. So those things are more important to different sets of people. So we're doing those series of guides, and then.
Well, I'm sure Paula and Shoshana from Hartranft would be interested to hear about the circular. We just had them on talking about circular economies and getting sustainability more front and center. So it's great that that's in alignment with what DALI's also working towards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're not pretending that DALI solves all of the problems in that, but it certainly makes a contribution. Just simply from modularity, being able to swap out a driver without having to completely swap out the luminaire or
Right.
even the control system just because something failed.
Right,
you know,
right, exactly.
That's a strong.
Yeah. And then so this other one is more catered towards those people who are going to be doing that
Yeah,
specification.
so the guides are for people that don't know what the benefits of DALI is, and then for anybody that wants to use DALI, we've got this specifying and designing with DALI guide, and these are all going to be available on our website.
That's great.
And yeah, goes, it's like 100 pages or something. It goes way deep into how to use DALI, right, and how to specify it, and some of the pitfalls, some examples of different projects that we've seen around the world that people can key into to understand whether it's an education facility or a theater or whatever it might be.
No, that's great, and I think that is really one of the necessary things, because as has been discussed on the podcast frequently, is we need to do a better job of educating the masses, not just the specifiers, but people who, I just heard about this, like, what does it mean? So I think that's great that you have this outreach campaign with these materials. I think that's really going to help people get more familiar with this technology and see the benefits.
Because as we said at the start of this discussion, the main feedback we get, and we listen to the feedback carefully, right? Because it's really important, the voice of customer. And the main feedback we got years ago was, I don't know anything about DALI. What is that? Right? So we spend time just being visible and educating people what DALI is. And now they get it, but the feedback is, well, people are resistant to it, they're not really sure, the comfort levels are not high, in how to use it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Then
let's get that
we'll help
improved.
you with that too.
Well, and I think also with like the DALI Summit, that is really helpful too. So, are you doing that again then?
We are doing that again. I didn't bring
no worries.
the flyer, but save the date. It's the 16th of October. So again, the day
dovetailing
after.
with NY Controlled.
Yeah, because all of those people that are coming from out of town are going to be there anyway. So just an extra night in a hotel, and we're going to do another different venue this time because we just wanted to change the space and spend more focus on actually delivering the content. So it's going to be Parsons.
Parsons, great.
So
that's awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, I went to the first DALI Summit. It was an incredible experience. I highly recommend anybody who just wants to learn about DALI to go to that. But all right, Paul, really appreciate you coming on and sponsoring the Lighting Controls podcast.
It's a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.